Hello, Dawn Moore, Legion's Title Company. Last week we talked about homestead rights in married persons. Today's video is going to address a somewhat related title issue. How does title pass when one spouse dies? Does the surviving spouse automatically get title to his or her interest in the property? The answer to that question is no. Under Texas law, real property is held between two individuals as tenants in common and not as joint tenants with right of survivorship. That means when one spouse dies, the property passes according to Texas law and not to the surviving spouse as it would under joint tenancy with right of survivorship. Title passes according to the Texas Probate Code. If the deceased leaves a will, then title passes to the devisees named under the will upon probate of that will. If the deceased does not have a will, then title passes upon his death according to Texas intestate law. Under Texas intestate law, if the decedent has children and all of his children are also children of the surviving spouse, then his interest in that property does pass to the surviving spouse. If, on the other hand, the decedent has children from a prior marriage, then all of his interest passes to all of his children in equal shares. This is something that is important to understand and plan for. In the latter case, when there are children from prior marriages, it is prudent to have a will so that the decedent can direct his interest or her interest in the property as they desire. Title immediately passes to the heirs or devisees upon death. When there is no will, in order to sell the property, all heirs must sign on the contract and the closing documents. In the case of a will, the will must be probated. Then it depends on the language of the will as to who will be required to sign at closing. Some wills will give the executor and executrix sufficient authority to convey real property. If that is the case, then only the executor or executrix need sign at closing. However, if the will does not give sufficient authority to convey real property, then the executor or executrix and all the devisees named under the will must sign the contract and the closing documents. It is wise to find the answers to these questions prior to entering into a binding contract. Legion's Title is happy to help you navigate these issues and stands ready, willing, and able to help you with your next closing. We are your resource for results. Thank you.